everybody, I am back. I've been working a little bit on my journal using my Poison Ledger kit, starting to get a sense of what it's going to look like. I wanted to choose a solution for the cover so that I could get a sense of signature size and type and go from there. I am the type of person who likes to kind of go with the flow and just see how things turn out. I'm not, especially when it comes to any sort of creative pursuit, I'm not much of a planner. So a lot of times I have to kind of force myself to stop and think about these kinds of things, because otherwise, like, I just make a bunch of stuff that won't fit in the same book. Or actually, to be clear, most of the time I won't make anything because I'm not sure what kind of book I'm going to put it in. So long story short, I have chosen this mucky or raggedy book. It says try. I will probably keep that because it's why I got it. It cracked me up. It was, someone had taken a periodical, called Try, I think. I have them. I removed them from this. But someone had taken like a child's periodical, and bound them together, I think for use at a library. Because it's funny to me, this is upside down, like they're not in the same, although it says bank and trust company. I don't know. Someone, maybe it was a bank, had a bunch of children's periodicals in their library and bound them together. No idea how or why it came to be. But it's like not the best made book ever, which is part of its charm for me. I like the fabric bound cover, and it just really worked for me. I thought I could make it kind of fit, you know, I really wanted to use, for some reason, an old book cover to do this, and most of my other book covers are, you know, very happy, pretty, garden, botanical kind of stuff. And as much as there is a sort of botanical undercurrent to this whole poison journal, they just didn't really fit. But I liked this, so I grabbed it, I measured it out, and these signatures are all, when I wrote it down, 10.5 by 6.5 inches. So I've got some very basic craft paper ones, some cardstock I liked. I had some thin, cheap cardstock that I got from who knows where, that wasn't strong enough or sturdy enough to work to be pages that would hold a lot of like pockets and things. So I backed them onto each other, glued them together. I started to make, I love, this one is really working for me. I just got this lace and took one of my pockets from the kit and put it on, and it already looks great in my opinion. And then these signatures were not actually 6.5 inches. I wasn't going to get that out of my 12 by 12 cardstock. So I did take the portion I cut off the 12 by 12 at the top, right? So that extra 1.5 inches from the 10.5. And I am going to make page ends with them to extend some of them a little bit further. And this is one of them. This is some Halloween like netting I found at the dollar store that's just very gauzy and soft, and I sewed it on and I love the way it looks. So that's where we are with signatures. There's a few more in process. I do not have it in me to record every single step I take in this journal, especially because one of my favorite reasons to make journals is to relax, and one of the ways that I most enjoy doing that is to put on other people's videos on YouTube. I find that entertaining. It helps me spark new ideas. I've got a flippy flappy sort of signature situation that I'm working on right now, that I will show soon. And I hadn't even thought of it until I was watching someone else make a journal. These are, I'm trying to remember whose digital kits. These might have been Debbie's from Ink and Page, that I printed a couple of spider webs from. Honestly, guys, now that I look at something like this, like it's beyond me how I did not realize sooner that my printer was really messed up color-wise. I mean, I should have known from this, but for some reason, I just thought something about the way it was printing was a little extra grungy or funky, and it didn't bother me too much. It was like, not what I expected, but But then when you look at stuff like this, like, it's obvious something's going on with my yellow cartridge and my magenta cartridge. I've got new ink coming, manufacturers. So I feel so silly. I have always used the branded ink cartridges in all of my printers for years and years. And then I was trying to be frugal, and everybody's always saying that, you get ripped off if you're using the manufacturer's ones. That all of these, there's so many ink cartridges out there these days that are compatible, that work just as well for a fraction of the price. And I at the moment suspect that the problem is the off-brand ink cartridges, but I don't know. If not, I don't know what that means for me and my printer. We might break up, because I can't keep making digital kits and printing other digital kits and doing the things I do without ones that function. Here's another good example. This is from Tony at Crafty by Tony's Halloween freebie. I will try to link her and Debbie at Ink and Page and stuff for you if you're interested. When you look at this online, it is black and orange. I repeat, black and orange. Like maybe a little bit of brown, but not hot pink. It is not hot pink. On the flip side, since these are all printing out wrong, they at least go with all of the Poison Ledger pieces that I've already printed out with my funky messed up printer. So kind of a win. But yeah, there's no pink in here on hers. This is also from Tony's set. So they're great. They're gonna look great in my book. They're gonna go with my book. But this is one of the ones that printed best. There's still kind of like some yellow that maybe shouldn't be in there, but this one we managed. And underneath here, I am going to show you the new Papercraft book I got. I took that Enchanted Kingdom book back. If you watched my last video, you'll know I flipped through it. It was gorgeous. It was wonderful. It's not something I'm going to use. And that's just, I think, one of the pitfalls of being someone with a very eclectic style and who loves art and pretty shiny things and all the rest of it, is that sometimes you just get drawn to things that maybe aren't going to work for you long term. And I'm glad I had the foresight to, or the hindsight to take it back before I used it. I guess it depends on how you want to look at that. I did exchange it for the other one I had seen and liked, the Enchanted Forest. So I will flip through this in just a moment. They did have one other version of the Paper Love that's a vintage florals. I was also very drawn to it, but since I'd already gotten the paper botanical theme, excuse me, I keep yawning for some reason. I must need more caffeine. I wanted something else. I also wanted something that I thought would work in the book I'm currently working on, and this is just a little bit darker, and I thought would fit the theme a little bit more. I also poked around and found some of the other paper book themes. Again, paper. Is this one that I flipped through the other day and started actually pulling some pieces from, and I had gotten the Floral Riot There's an Americana version. There's a like beach, aquatic, ocean animals kind of surfer version. There's a retro vibes version. There's a Christmas one. There's a witchy one I liked and thought about, but it was a little too overtly Halloween. I am not an orange and black girly, so in all honesty, I like that this printed out with the pink. I think it's interesting. I can do a little bit of the orange black motif, but not a lot. And this was, the witch one was like full on pumpkins and orange and black, and that's just not me. That's fine. So there are lots of different versions of this book, different themes. But again, in the end, I picked up this Enchanted Forest. Very excited. Oh, there's my receipts. So let's take a look. One of the things about the Enchanted Forest theme that works for me is that I have a lot of mushrooms, fungi, in the Poison Ledger. So this fits that. Like, again, I have to stop this video if I don't stop yawning. Okay, I'm gonna make it quick. Lots of mushrooms that I thought would be really cute to include. So I'm gonna have to go back through and pull exactly which ones I use, but really cool stuff as far as that's concerned. Oh, I love this little slug with the little mushrooms growing on his shell. He's so cute. So this is more stuff that I am likely to use. I really like a lot of these little cards and these forest critters. And oh, pretty. That's pretty. Be nice to each other. Amen. I love these. I don't have enough blue in this journal, or really any, to make that work, but very pretty, very fun. They've got these gallery wall pages that they had in the other book that I think are really cool. This is pretty. I love a tree. I love a tree. Mushrooms, moths. It's a little too psychedelic for me, but that's okay. Owls. So really, yeah, this just works better for the vibe of this current book and for things that I normally do. Like the bark situation there. I'm not usually someone who does a lot of coloring book, but I think that they're really interesting when they're used as pages in a signature. So you sort of pull it out, fold it up, maybe even cut it in half and deconstruct the image. And then it's just really interesting lines. I love that. So I'm probably will use most of these coloring pages in that way. Some stickers, really just like autumn, forest, nature, colors and papers, just makes me happy. And I think a lot of these can work with the other papers we've already pulled from the paper book and from the kit. All right, we're keeping this one. So I can finally open up these little, bear with me please. There we go. These little envelopes. Let's see. Yeah, it really is just wrapping paper. Oh, cute. But you know, if you're into Papercraft, you can find many uses for these that have nothing to do with wrapping gifts. That is how I will probably use it. Very cute paper. Oh, little bunny and mushrooms. don't know what these circles are supposed to be used for other than pretty embellishments. I don't know if they have some other purpose, but I like them. I love that little alphabet pages, so you can cut them up and spell things with these fun little alphabets if you want. And they have a lot of those. And then these little sticker labels and another pack of wrapping paper. Okay, that one went faster. Okay, we have our little squirrel. Ooh. Nice, nice, nice. Washi type stickers. Ah, that tag is adorable. Very nice, very nice. I had seen these little owls when I was flipping through in the store, and they really caught my eye and were a big reason that I was tempted to get this one. So they're cuties. Oh, I like that feather envelope. And birds. You know, I love a bird. I love a bird. More birds. Foxes. So sweet. So cute. Okay. So that's this one. Again, I love that they make these so easy to tear the pages out. Because a lot of times when I am repurposing a book for journal, collage, papercraft, I actually deconstruct the whole book. I don't like tearing pages out. I find that over time there's that buildup in the spine of torn paper, and it makes it harder and harder to tear out pages well the longer you do it. And so I have just gotten in the habit of deconstructing the whole book, but then I have loose pages. And this is nice because it does make it easier. Okay, is this wrapping paper or something else? Ooh. What is these? Oh, it's like a big poster of trees. Oh my goodness. That's exactly what it is. I like that. I'm gonna cut this up, but I like it. If I had two, maybe I'd frame one, but that will make some, oop, excuse me, lovely ephemera. Let me put that back where it goes. Even though I am fairly well organized at this point, I have a really small space, and I create avalanches on the regular, trying to move stuff about while I work, so none of that's a surprise. All right, so that's the flip through of the Enchanted Forest by Paper Love. I'm gonna go through again in a little bit with some of my other stuff out so I can kind of look as I go. Color-wise, a lot of this doesn't coordinate a whole lot with my current project, but there should be enough for me to pull like some of those muted mushrooms, or even a funny little owl might be able to work their way into the project. Yeah, these will work. So I'm gonna pull some stuff out and get it ready, and we'll be doing some work together on this journal as we go. So I'm looking forward to doing more of that on camera and showing you some of the ideas I have. Yeah, I know I didn't end that with a big flourish or in any way that came across sounding professional. But yeah, that's where we are. So I'll be back again, continue working on this journal, show you what I am doing off camera, and then demonstrating some things on camera, particularly ones featuring the Poison Ledger kit, so that you have even more of an idea of what's in the kit and how you might use it. And if you enjoyed this, as always, please consider giving it a like, a little thumbs up, and subscribing so you can continue to get more of those videos. Oh, and I think my camera's shaking. I'm just gonna tell you now, I have a a lamp that I use for it. I love the lamp, but I have a desk that wobbles just enough that sometimes that lamp with the camera on it is gonna shake. I apologize, and I will do my best not to shake it. All right, I'll see you again soon. Thanks.